Hello, I'm so happy I got a hold of you. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Lucious Showcase. I am Lucious T, and welcome to week 3 of Monster Madness Month. This week we're taking a look at a allegedly terrible game that you already know what it is the title, so let's not waste any more time, let's check it out. Frankenstein the Monster Returns, or just Frankenstein if you go by the title screen, was a game I first saw on AVGN. Though I later heard through the grapevine that the game wasn't as terrible as he made it out to be. Oh god, a game called Frankenstein where the monster is referred to as Frankenstein. I give up. I was lucky enough to pick this up with the box off Craigslist a year or so ago for a steal. And since the NES has more games with monster in the title than you can shake a stick at, I figured it was this bad boy's turn. Even if the monster tagline isn't in the title. Anyways, let's dive in.
There's a lot of games out there, some of which you've never even heard of. That's where I come in. I'm Lucious T. I've been playing games since the age of 2, and I have no life. This is Retroactive.
Frankenstein the Monster Returns on surface value is a terrible game. It's a side-scrolling action game with minor exploration and a wonky hitbox. It's 4 levels long, has limited continues, and a long password system that ties you to said continues. Now you get the chance to name your main character, which is novel, and it actually ties to the password file and the cutscenes. Now I used my old tag Luck. And best of all, the story is laughably bad. Somehow Frankenstein self-resurrects and becomes a god from one lightning bolt, and he's able to control every monster in the world and summon an evil dimension. He also got over his fear of fire, apparently. He steals a random female villager, and her beloved, you, must save her. But why does the king of evil need some random village girl? I mean, monsters have needs too, am I right? Now stage 1 starts you in the village. Monsters have taken over. There are little demon dogs you must crouch to hit, and giant demons that drop clubs when killed. Now Luck can pick these up and wield them till he is hit. Now enemies also drop orbs and health, allowing you to refill damage and shoot fire from your weapon. Well, once again, getting hit removes the firepower. And projectile power only comes from orbs or chests, so it's a lot harder to get back than just picking up the dropped weapon. Now, this game also has one of those strange health systems where your life bar has a hidden damage percentage to it. Think Double Dragon. So damage will sometimes drop you 1 health and sometimes not. Now, every stage is composed of 2 mini-bosses, a main boss, and an optional boss. At least, the first 2 had optional bosses. I stopped looking after that. Kind of funny that the Grim Reaper is a mini-boss and a made-up Demon Horse is a main boss. Also funny that after you kill the Demon Horse in Stage 1, you find a warrior in Stage 2 that was mortally wounded by the Demon Horse. Damn, that mortal wound sure took some time to kill him, and he managed to get pretty damn far away and climb up a tree. Anyways, this game is so bad, it's good. Luckily, most enemies die in 1 to 2 hits. They infinitely spawn, but they always come from the same place, so you can learn the patterns very quickly. Now, you only have 2 continues, but after a little practice, you can get through the first 2 stages without losing 1. Now, you can find blue potions that extend your health meter by 1 as well. Now, these are crucial as they stack until you get to a total of 8. Now, you can typically find 1 per stage. However, if you continue, the blue potion increases disappear. So it is in your best interest not to die. Luckily, you can also find stackable life refilling potions. They become tiles at the bottom of the screen and can be activated at any point with the select button. Now, I don't think there is a limit to how many you can have, so it is smart to store up as many as you can for use in the later stages. Luckily, the continues keep the potions, as does using a password continue. Now, another interesting nuance is life, of course, does not refill between stages, but if you use a password to continue, you will always start with 4 health. Now, I think Bandai was trying to make their own version of Castlevania with this game. There are a ton of famous monsters in this. Creature from the Black Lagoon, Werewolf, Dracula, Medusa, Swamp Thing, and the Grim Reaper all make appearances. And who could forget the prolific Demon Horse? Sadly, the Mummy didn't make the cut. Maybe he was preparing for the sequel, or his inevitable spin-off. Now, some of the monsters are pretty hilarious too. Medusa pretends that she was mind-controlled like Swamp Thing to escape death. Werewolf is called Man-Wolf and is a total bro. and the vampire drops an item that doesn't even do anything. Though the orbs that drop in level 3 don't do anything either, so shockingly, a few things must have slipped by the developers. Part of me wonders if that's why Stage 4 is called the final stage instead of Stage 4. Maybe they had planned on more levels and said, screw it. Now, much like Monster Party, this game is also classic NES hard until you realize that the developers left tools for your disposal. Though unlike Monster Party, I don't think this was intentional. The same spawned enemies always drop the same drops, but they never stop spawning them. So health can be farmed, power-ups can be farmed, and crucially in Stage 4, you can farm blue potion off of one certain enemy, maxing out your health to 8, which is critical. With full health, you can use the health potions to carry you through Frankenstein's final form. Luckily, his first form can be Zelda 2'd, but he still can sneak in a hit or two. Now, getting through his final form is a bit of an endurance fight and a fitting end to an up and down game. As for all the other bosses, they have fairly simple strats to them. You mainly just need to execute. The man-wolf can be crouch-killed, vampire just requires you to spam attack to kill his bats, and the Dark Knight stabs up before stabbing out, so if you're quick, you can attack him before that. Just make sure to keep him at distance as he likes to move on top of you. With a little pattern recognition and execution, you can sleepwalk through most of this game once you get it down. Now, besides his normal attack, Luck has a jump punch, later slash once you get the sword in Stage 2, and a jump kick. The kick is pretty much useless, with a few exceptions. It's great for hitting the demon horse and avoiding his flame breath. The real key is to keep the projectile attack as long as possible, which is easier said than done. Once again, you lose it from one hit. And that's the same story with all the projectile attacks, even the ones you find in chests. Only the flame your beloved gives you to defeat Frankenstein doesn't disappear with damage. Wait, now he's vulnerable to flames again? Isn't that what killed him in the first place? And how the hell does she know he can't be killed with swords? He was burned in a tower last time, and since his resurrection, he's had no mortal enemy and has subjugated all monsters.
Right? And yet what failed to kill him last time will suddenly work now.
Yeah, this is worse than Rewind Mike's Super Mario cosplay. Wow, we actually agree for once. That's it. Unliked, unsubbed, unfriended, unalpha keyed. Wait, not that one. Uh-oh. Kind of breaking the illusion now. Now, some may say 4 levels is too short, but I found it the perfect length. There's just enough exploration with doors and hidden rooms. You can even find an optional boss by falling in water. Yes, hitboxes and controls are wonky. Enemies zerd you non-stop like you're in Holy Diver. And let's not even touch the random vine section. Still, I had a great time playing this game and was able to beat it within a few hours of starting it. Time for some Lucious metrics. Game design. Broken fun. I may enjoy this game, but AVGN wasn't stretching when he made fun of it. You attack enemies, and sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. Monsters respawn too fast, graphical errors abound, and the music is atrocious. It's possible to deal with the boss patterns, but the solutions feel more like exploits rather than strategies. All that being said, it's still a passable game, and able to be finished with a little effort. Playability. So bad it's good. Things feel off, but they are consistently off. So once you get used to it, it won't be an issue. Except for every once in a while when a mob hitbox vanishes randomly. And this really was only on the skeletons in Stage 3 and the floating orbs in Stage 2. Now other enemies that seem hard as balls become child's play once you get the pattern down. It's so bad, it's good. Cost of entry. Overpriced. Copies go for around $60. I got it for a steal at $30 with a box, and even then, you can argue I overpaid. Now I know some will criticize my justification for Die Hard and not this, but that game is tied to my favorite movie. This game just feels like a poor man's Castlevania. Feel free to emulate it for a laugh. Storytelling. Glorious. The story is amazing. Frankenstein is suddenly a demigod. Dr. Frankenstein is nowhere to be seen. Frankenstein controls every monster imaginable and can access the evil realm for reasons that are never explained and never have to be. This is as good as storytelling on the NES can get. 10 out of 10. Frankenstein the Monster Returns is not a good game. It is, however, a good time. Just don't go into it with any expectations and you can't be disappointed. If you're looking for a good playing game, this sadly is not that. If you're looking for a good time though, step on up. Taking all that into account from the perspective of a binge-playing game finisher, I give this my Lucious T recommendation of play it. And there you have it. That's it for this week, guys. Thank you for joining me. I'm actually surprised how much I enjoyed this game. It was just the right amount of length to difficulty to brokenness to absurd storytelling to make it just a great time. If this was twice as long, this game would not have been a play it at all. But it's the perfect amount of time, the perfect amount of difficulty, and just a really fun time. It's a shame it's so expensive, so once again, feel free to emulate it. So anyways, guys, that's it for this week. As a tease to next week, for the 4th week of Monster Madness Month, it's going to be a game that's going to curl your toenails. So, that's all you get, and as a reminder, I release a new video every Tuesday. Please like and subscribe the channel, and hit that notification bell so you actually see these videos. And once again, it's been so nice getting a hold of you. Take care.